fall 2022, anime is at its absolute pinnacle. Like, I've been watching anime for like 4 or 5 years now, and I cannot remember a season where there has just been so much pure hype condensed down. Like, I can think of, like, I have 10 shows right now on my watch list, and I'm struggling to find the time to watch them all. Like, not everything has even started to come out yet, and I'm already, like, being bogged down. Like, I'll be, like, watching one episode of one show, and I realize this episode of this other show that I really want to watch has come out. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I want to watch everything, you know? It's a good problem to have if you were, like, following me along summer 2022. I was basically in a drought. Like, I had Uncle from Another World, and I had Rent-A-Girlfriend, which I haven't watched any of that show. But I had Uncle from Another World, and that was all. So I was in a drought, and I was just sort of like trying to follow along. Not the case this fall. This fall is going to be packed, and so I just wanted to take some time out of my day to sort of share my hype with you, because I'm super hyped, and I just want to talk about what all we got going on. So buckle up, it's going to be a long ride. Yeehaw! First up, we got Mob Psycho Season 3. I am incredibly hyped for this show. I'm a huge fan of 1. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy that did One Punch Man. He also did Mob Psycho 100, and I think that's kind of it. I don't think he did a whole lot of other stuff. But he has a really, really strong gift at, like, world building and comedy, and I don't know, there's just something about his shows that really slaps different. If you've seen One Punch Man, the way I describe Mob Psycho 100 is it's like One Punch Man, but set in high school. Basically, the stakes are all just a little bit lower, the jokes don't slap quite as hard, but I think the characterization is a little bit better, and I think it's just a little bit more relatable for me personally. I don't think I ever lost that inner kid, inner high schooler, so I don't know. I think they're two very different shows, but there are a lot of parallels between them. If you like One Punch Man, I would definitely give Mob Psycho 100 a watch. Seasons 1 and 2 are on Crunchyroll right now, and Season 3 is going up as we speak. So if you're into that show and into 1 or, you know, any of his other stuff, I think he's only done One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. I don't know, I'll have to check on that. But, yeah, give it a watch because it's an amazing show and you'll enjoy it. Now, up second, I have Spy Family, and you're probably thinking, what? You really have to tell me about Spy Family? I feel like Spy Family is one of these anime that is like Attack on Titan. Everyone knows it, everyone watches it, everyone loves it, and you're like, really, Ethan? Really? You gotta talk about Spy Family? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, Spy Family has a really special place in my heart because it was the first manga I ever read outside of like an anime would end. So my relationship with manga is kind of weird. So basically, I'd be like watching an anime, and then if the anime ended and I wanted to know what happened next, I'd just read the manga. But, you know, now I actually just read manga. Like, I just picked this up the other day. This is, I don't know, a Junji Ito manga. I'm not trying to flex, but yeah, I do read a manga. I'm a little bit of a manga master. Anyways, but it was the first manga I ever read that I just read it for the sake of, like, reading a story. It wasn't like I saw the anime and just wanted to continue the story. And I've really been following it for a long time, and I remember getting the anime the adaptation announcement, and I was just like so hyped. I was like, yes, and like I felt like a father. I felt like I was so proud. I was like, oh, my baby, it's going on to bigger and better things, right? So if you don't know anything about the show, which I think most people do know a bit about the show, it's essentially a show about a spy who gets an assignment to go deep into enemy territory and start a family for the sake of a mission. And essentially what it creates is a lot of very high-tense moments, a lot of comedy, and just a lot of like very wholesome moments where the family just kind of comes together because they're not really a real family. But there are moments where you kind of think, oh yeah, they're becoming like a real family, and it's so sweet. It's such a cute show. Just give it a watch. It's amazing. I'm sure you've heard a lot of stuff about it. I cannot recommend it enough. Third up, we got the one I think everyone has been waiting for, the one I think most people are the most hyped for this season, and that is Chainsaw Man. Now, if you don't know anything about it, it's essentially a gory horror manga that's being adapted into a anime. I remember I read the manga a long time ago. It was really great. I didn't actually realize that what I read was only the first part of the manga, because basically what they did is they wrote like the entire like first kind of arc-ish of the manga, and then they like ended that and didn't put any chapters out for a year, and then about a month ago or so they started putting out more chapters. Like, what? There's more? And then, like, you know, it's been reading that, but it's a really incredible story. And I remember I heard about, like, an anime adaptation, but I didn't really know too much about it. Turns out it's MAPPA doing the anime adaptation, the same people that do Jujutsu Kaisen. They did Attack on Titan Season 4. Super hype. It's going to be an incredible show. basically nothing but hype. They had the episode drops in like 4 or 5 days time. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. I don't think I need to say a whole lot because I think if you're watching this video, you're already hyped for it too. But just know it's going to be incredible, and it's definitely on my watch list. So if you're not familiar with it, become familiar with it because it's going to be something everybody's going to be on about, okay? Coming in at number 4, I got My Hero Season 6, which is definitely my most hyped show this season. I know that's kind of weird because I think Season 5 of My Hero killed the show for most people I know. But I've been reading the manga. I can tell you right now, Season 6 is going to be pure hype. And you don't want to miss it. You definitely want to get involved. If you're not familiar with the show, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Because everyone's familiar with the show. No, but for real, if you're not familiar with the show, it's basically an anime superhero. It's basically the anime MCU, right? Has a big cast, 40-50 characters, really, really well done. The pacing's a little slow at points, but trust me, it gets better in the end. And yeah, it's just a really clean, well put together show that you can tell everybody involved really cares about it. It's something really special, and it's something that I think is really going to shine this season. I think it's going to become a bit of a sleeper hit, or not really a sleeper hit because it's My Hero, like, it has a lot of fans, right? But I think it's going to do a lot better, and it's going to impress more people than I guess it sort of feels like, because it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of hype surrounding it. But trust me, you should be getting hyped about the show because it's going to be amazing, right? You don't want to miss it. I would definitely get back into My Hero if you dropped it, and I made like literally a whole ass video talking about it. I hate when YouTubers plug their own content, but I'm going to become the very thing I swore to destroy, and I'm going to plug my own content. I'm going to put my link for that video down in the description. Check that out if you haven't. But yeah, watch My Hero. It's going to be great, and I personally think it's going to take the anime world by storm this fall. Right, so next up, I'm going to recommend Blue Lock, which is kind of weird because I don't know anything at all about the show other than that it's been getting a whole lot of hype. Essentially, it's a sports manga, soccer sports manga that has been doing big numbers in Japan. It's been really selling out everything. And a lot of people I know are really hyped for the show for some reason, so I'm kind of hyped for the show. I know Hajime, the the mangaka for Attack on Titan, really, really recommended the work. So personally, I'm optimistic about it. I'm gonna try give it at least 3 or 4 episodes to get into it and really try to watch it because it's a soccer anime. It's gonna be about a bunch of dudes kicking balls around a field. What's not to like about it, right? So yeah, I'd recommend you give it a couple episodes because the hype for it has been kind of unreal, and it's one of those anime that I think everyone is kind of hoping is gonna make it big. And I'm not the biggest fan of sports anime. I tried watching Haikyuu. I tried watching Kuroko's Basketball. Couldn't get into either, but who knows, maybe third time's a charm. And I'm just going to try to watch it because there's a lot of hype and I don't really want to miss out. So next up, we got Uncle from Another World, which I know I talked about a bit. I watched that over the summer, but it got put on the hiatus for some reason after episode 7, and it's going to start airing again in the fall. So it's kind of was a summer anime, the one good summer anime, and it's kind of rolled over into fall. So I'm recommending it now. It's going to be hype. I've made a whole video on it previously, but basically what it is, it's a really fresh, interesting take on the isekai genre. This dude, basically he comes back from the isekai world, and essentially everything's kind of different, everything's kind of changed, and it's about his way of dealing with sort of the new technology and stuff that's happening when he gets out. It's a really funny show, it's a comedy, right? And it's a really fresh take on the isekai genre. I cannot recommend it enough to you. Definitely give Uncle from Another World a check out if you haven't already. And again, it's kind of a weird thing to recommend for the fall because it was a summer anime, but it's starting to air again in the fall. So catch back up. There are only 7 episodes. It was a Netflix anime. So go to Netflix, watch the 7 episodes that are already out, and then just kind of roll into the new episodes because it's really hype. It's a really great show. And I think it's kind of, because it's a Netflix anime, it doesn't get a whole lot of coverage, but it's definitely one of the best shows. Definitely the best show I saw over the summer, and I think it's going to be a good show over the fall, too. So why not give it a watch, right? So the final anime that I'm super hyped for is the memorial remastering of the Golden Age arc of the Berserk movies. And it's really weird because it's Berserk, right? It's basically, if you don't know Berserk, you don't know anime, right? That's how I see Berserk. It's like the masterpiece, the pinnacle of, I'd say, like manga. And the Golden Age arc is a really masterfully done anime. And it's weird. So this show has kind of flown under the radar. I haven't seen a whole lot about it. I don't see a whole lot of hype around it. And I think it's weird. I think because maybe it's a remastering. It's not like a new IP. It's been sort of done before. It hasn't really gotten a whole lot of hype, but if you're new and you've never really seen Berserk, or you don't know a whole lot about it, or you've been wanting to get into Berserk but it's kind of intimidating, I think following along with the Memorial Arc with the better animation, sort of the remastering, is going to be a great way to get into Berserk if you've never done it before. It's going to be really hype, I think. I'm very hyped for it. I'm going to be watching it along as I, sort of go through my anime journey this fall. So definitely recommend you to check out if you haven't seen Berserk, or if it's been a while since you've seen Berserk, or you just want to get a good, solid story, because sometimes you just want a solid story, and Berserk is definitely that. So that's basically my list of all the shows I'm most hyped for. I know I left out Bleach. I think a lot of people are going to be really kind of sussed out. I've never watched Bleach. I can't really say anything about Bleach, and it's one of those shows that I don't really have an interest in watching it. I know that's sad, but it's just, I look back at this 10-year-old show with hundreds of episodes, and I just can't motivate myself to watch it. It's kind of weird. I think I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I don't know. I don't have enough followers to get a lot of hate for this. But I don't know. I'm not really into Bleach, and I know the 1,000-Year War arc is something a lot of people who've been into anime for a really long time are hyped for. I've been into anime for a long time. I've not been into anime for a really long time. So I'm personally not very hyped for it. I'm mentioning it here because Bleach is kind of considered a masterpiece. I couldn't really say. I know a lot of people really love it. So if you're kind of checked out of anime for a while and you want to get back into some anime and you see that Bleach is coming out, give Bleach a watch. I don't know. It's another thing that's coming out this fall that's going to be really good, I think, and a lot of people are really hyped for it. Just me personally, I'm not super hyped for it. Anyway, so that's been my list. If there's something big that you think I left out, please comment it down below, and I'll try to make a video on it sometime in this upcoming week, if it's something that I'm interested in. But yeah, definitely give all these shows a watch if you're looking for something to watch. I hope this helped you. And yeah, I just talk about a lot of anime on the channel, so if you like me and you like my cute face and you're into what I'm talking about, please consider giving me a subscribe, because it really helps me out. It helps me grow. And yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Au revoir.